Well, and so there's a lot of opportunity around radio, as you and I have talked about over the last 2 or 3 years. When did you do your first radio show, Dave?
I I can't remember that far back.
You're an old,
No, I
you're
did.
that
Yeah,
old.
yeah. So let me think about this real quick here. So yeah, so I would say I got in the business in '81, and my first radio show '81. I would say 1987. I did a radio show, and that went from '87 to '90. No, I can tell you when it is because it was for 11 years. So it must have been 90 for a live show called Your Money Matters. Yeah, so that's the first time I ever did radio.
Yep.
Yep.
So a lot of experience. Well, why don't you walk the guys and gals through Retirement Boss Radio, the opportunity, and that if we've got some questions or we have some things that come up, we can just have a few
Sure.
minutes. I know we're on a really tight because of your personal
Yep.
situation here today,
Yep.
but let's run through it really quick.
Yeah. So my name is Dave Pemper, and I have a coaching firm. It's a production coaching firm for financial advisors, insurance agents, called Coaching. My skills and my attributes I bring through the FMO of IAMS, and that's who Steve Murray is one of the co-owners, and maybe you're the owner. You might be the big cheese now, Steve. So but he's with us today, and he's kind of just gave the early introduction there. But my goal of I run my business through them, but I don't work for them. I'm a personal production, but I've always had the knack to go in and get a lot of appointments. And one of the ways I do that is through radio, and this is being a radio host. So this is not doing a 30-second radio ad or a minute radio ad. I have just not had. I've tried those before, Steve, and I just have
Oh,
not had
sure. I've had a lot of guys
any
try them.
success.
Yep.
Yeah, and just between me and you, Steve, have you ever heard? I mean, you ever heard of very many advisors being successful doing business that way?
I'm sorry. I wish I could say that I have, but I just those, and even you always think, well, yeah, you offer the best MIGA rate and it's really good compared to CDs. Everybody's going to call you. Nobody calls. I can't tell you why. I really can't. I can't say why.
Yeah, no, yeah. It seemed like in the old days, paper advertising had some success. I had some success in paper advertising, but now most people never read the paper. They don't get a paper. But
Hmm.
radio's hot. No doubt, radio's hot. So what we're going to do. This is a very short webinar, and I appreciate on a Friday we've got a pretty good group here, and I appreciate the folks being online with us. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through. It's only going to take about 10, 15 minutes, but maybe 10 minutes to go through, and then we'll answer any questions. I do have to bug out of here a little bit earlier. I have actually, Steve and I were talking about it off air. I've got a funeral of a business owner's wife that young, 59 years old, that passed away that I got to go to, but I wanted to make time to go in with the webinar today. So you got to ask yourself, this talks about being a radio host of your own show called Retirement Boss Radio. And it's a turnkey system. So from the show notes to the production to the call center, it's a recorded show. But when people call in, it's alive to an inbound high touch call center. So what happens here is you got to ask yourself, why radio? Well, I will tell you this, radio, even though I'm a big seminar guy too, radio saved me during the pandemic. Tons of people being at home listened to radio, and we remember, see, we tried virtual seminars. We tried to get that to work.
Hmm.
We just couldn't put our finger on it. But my,
It was inefficient.
radio
Yeah.
really, yeah, radio really took off. So get a load of this. Radio reaches, and this is true, more Americans each week than any other platform. That's including your smartphone, your TV, your personal computer. Isn't that wild? So 93% of all adults that have a household income of 75,000 or more, there's an average of 12 hours a week of radio listened to. Now, I'm not a podcast guy, and if you're younger, you probably are going to be big into podcasts, but people who are 55 and over, they're big radio. I just listened to a guy yesterday, and he gets a lot of information from radio. But it kind of solidifies you as an expert. Average age is between 60 and 65, perfect for that pre-retired or just retired. There's no doubt that radio's hot right now. News radio is hot. So Rush Limbaugh, now he's been really taken over, okay, with a couple guys because of his death. but Glenn Beck, Kim Commando, Dave Ramsey, most of the stations do have a conservative slant. Though, Stephen, I told you about this. I mean, I was talking to a fellow that has some interest right now in Chicago, and he's very left-sided, but we couldn't find a regular conservative station. But it's the biggest Democrat or left-winged radio station in Chicago. And it didn't make any difference to him because he said money is green no matter what. But we do have a lot of options that are out there. Can we go into every city? No, because we're already in some cities right now, and we're not going to compete against another advisor that's got Retirement Boss Radio. But as long as that city's $100,000, 100,000 people or more, yeah, no, we'll go on in and try to find that station time cost that's good for yourself. So there's four components to Retirement Boss Radio, and the components are this. If you say, yeah, Dave, I'm in, and I'm making up this because we don't have a person there yet, but say it's Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm in Tulsa, and I'd like to get on radio, and we go through, they like the idea. We have to go out and find the right radio station. We have to find the right time. We've got a time slot. We've got to find the right price. How often can we do that? About half the time. Either you'll get a great station but a bad time slot. Let's say it's an 11 p.m. time slot. Well, who's listening at an hour to midnight? Nobody. But the price is great. How about if you we just had one where the station was great and the slot was great, but they were charging double of what they should. It's just hard to get return on investment. So it has to have those three things have to come in on the right side of the balance sheet, and then that's the major cost of radio. Then there is the production. We have a co-host. We use the same co-host every week, but they produce it. They put the advertisements in it for you. Dave Pimper, Retirement Boss Radio. They go in and get it down to exactly an hour. They take out any bloopers that there are. And that's one nice thing that it's recorded. You do it in your own office or your own home. I mean, if you got Wi-Fi, you can do it in a car. Some cities have Wi-Fi now. You can do it anywhere on a park bench. But you do need, and we give you the package. It's about $250 for a professional mic, professional headphones, a little sound box. But we supply. The production company does supply all of the internet feed, but it sounds. I mean, if you go on www.retirementbossradio.com, www.retirementbossradio.com, that's our website. Has a white paper, has all of our podcasts in there. I say podcasts; it's our recordings, and those. Interesting enough, it's recorded. Those recordings are for 30 minutes, and the reason we only record 30 minutes a week, even though it's an hour show. We record and then we pick up an old show, four shows before, which ran first then it runs the second 30-minute segment now. Most people on talk radio don't listen for the whole hour. They listen as they're driving, like my show's from 12 to 1, so a lot of people are driving from church back home or church to the restaurant or church over to someone's home, or they're in their, maybe they're working in their yard and they got their earphones on. That's how people kind of listen to talk radio. But that production company gets it down to exactly an hour and they get it to the radio station. Then there is the call center. Even though it's a recorded show, the call center's live. So we have all of ours are toll-free numbers, 888-877-866. And they all end in 2677, which is BOSS. So it's toll free, 888, like our numbers, 888-975-2677, 888-975 BOSS, BOSS. People remember that easier. And all of our numbers end in 2677, if we can. And so far, we've been able to do that. If you have any questions, type them on in. I'll be more than happy to answer those for you, okay? So here, and then there's myself. And what happens is that I'm trying to go back. There we go. What happens is that I coach you. So I coach you up. If you don't know Social Security, I'm going to coach you up on 3 sessions of Social Security. Social Security is a big draw. About 35% of all of our appointments in business is generated by people coming in and wanting to know about Social Security. So if you don't know Social Security, well, then you're going to win twice here. You're going to hit the jackpot because you're going to get leads coming on in, pretty hot prospects. You're also going to learn Social Security. And I'm available then from after that to answer those questions. But I coach you through. I critique your first couple, 2, 3 shows. Just give you all the ins and outs. You know, I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 shows. So you know, it's a you're working with someone who's kind of got that blueprint. Now I will say this on the appointments when they're set. We have a electronic calendar that our call center hooks in with us, and the instant they put all the information in, boom, it goes into your email. Like here's a guy turning 59 soon, hasn't settled on someone yet. He has a 401k that's 7-figured. It was just under $1 million. Also had questions about his Social Security, which is so common. Yeah, it's exciting. It's like Christmas. No matter when you get those, you know, you see those appointments come across. They're star quality to radio and television, but we're talking about radio now. Star quality. You don't have star quality with the seminar, but you have star quality. It's like, wow, you really the guy? You're the guy, huh, Dave? Yeah, I am. Yeah. But retirementbossradio.com, www.retirementbossradio.com. It's a great website to get some background information on. What's the cost? Everybody wants to know what the cost is. Yeah, the cost, give or take, $3,000 to $4,000 a month, all in. That's probably less than what a dinner seminar is. I mean, our seminar cost, which I think is extremely reasonable compared to the competition, is $2,750 for Social Security seminars, guaranteed to get 35 people to sign up, guaranteed, or you start getting your money back. Yeah, so it doesn't cost much more than what seminar marketing is. We have locations available. I train, I coach, I stay with you, which is there are other FMOs that have radio, but they don't have a coach that stays with you, and I do. Studio in a box, it's about $250. That's really the only upfront money that really comes out of your pocket. But knowing how all those components work together, I mean, it's kind of like baking a cake. The first time I saw my mom bake a cake, I thought, my gosh, a lot of stuff. But it all ends up. I love the taste at the end, and hopefully that's how this is. The end result, we want it to get you appointments. It doesn't make you money per se, but it gets you appointments. That's extremely important. Yeah, again, if there's any questions, certainly come on in and type them in, and we'll answer those. Al Jolson is an old a movie star, and his quote was, "I'd like to do radio just like pictures. Leave the imperfect stuff on the cutting room floor." Well, you can hear because it's a recorded show. I did 11 years of live, and I've done about almost 4 years now of recorded. Oh my gosh, doesn't take every Saturday morning. I did it from 7:45 until 8:30. It was a 45-minute show every Saturday morning. I mean, when we took vacations, I had to leave after the show. But now it's all done. And you know what? I mean, we just took a trip. I was gone with my family for a week, and we picked up an old show that was a recorded show. Worked out perfect. Yeah, got good appointments from it. Okay, Steve. So is there any? Oh, there's a poll that you want to put on up, and if you have an interest, you can just mark yes on this poll, and Brady Pelzer will call you to get a good time together with myself, Dave Pimper, and we'll just talk. We'll just see if radio could be something. Don't think it does have expense to it, but it's not real expensive, and that's pretty cool. 3,000 to 4,000 on an average. If it's a smaller community marketplace, it could be less than 3,000. If it's Chicago or New York or LA or Houston or a big city, Pittsburgh, Philly, no, it very well could be more. But we just quoted out Philadelphia. Actually, we just put a person on in Philadelphia. Yeah, it was in King of Prussia, and I think it was about $3,250 for a month. That's an hour on the radio every single week, and I think he will kill it. I think he's going to do great. So, Steve, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I can answer maybe one quick question. So if you could kind of look at the questions we have and maybe pick the important one, I'll answer. Then you can answer probably all the rest.
Yeah, there's a couple ones I can answer here pretty easy. Yep. So you should probably, I would say 3 or 4 of the questions have to do with how do you get appointments that, we kind of showed, but how does that actually work? How does somebody actually make an appointment?
Yep, good question. That 888 number, like mine, 888-975-2677. We do hard closes. I mean, they are strong offers. We offer this and offer that. Everybody has the same offer. We have 4 offers an hour, and that's usually when the phone starts ringing for appointments. It goes right into our call center. They set the appointment. That's the beautiful thing. They're appointment setters. They're not just a call center, they're appointment setters. So when they call on in, hey, thank you very much for listening to Retirement Boss Radio. The guy says, yeah, I got a quick question. No problem. Let's get you on Dave's calendar. That's it. They're going right into, hey, thank you very much. That's wonderful. Yep. They said, we answer the phones for Dave. Let's get you on his calendar. They're very good at what they do. So they set the appointment. And that's real appointment. So you don't have to set it. All you have to do is confirm the appointment. They are setting the appointment.
So the follow-up question to that is, everybody uses then the same call center, or do they have to set that up themselves? Yeah. Okay.
No, we have all the same call center. Everybody uses it. You know what? If you want to answer the calls yourself, or have your wife or your administrator, then hey, we can make that change. But I'll tell you what, we tried different things. We answered, for 6 weeks. Amy, my wife, and administrators, we answered the phone on Sundays. And then we figured out what the script should be. So they're using our script. It's a very specific script, and it basically gets right down to the brass tacks. Though, let's get you on Dave's calendar.
Good.
That's basically it. Now, Steve, I'm going to have you answer the rest because I'm going to scoot out of here.
Yeah, you got to go.
It's great. Yeah, but listen, Steve will have some good insight. Hope you mark yes on that, and have a great day.
All right.
Okay, Steve, I'll let you take it from here.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
You bet.
Yep. Yes, so a couple questions about how do we go about doing the recording of the radio. So it's actually done online. You're doing it right from wherever you want. The co-host is with you, and yes, if you say, hey, I don't like that, they'll just re-record it for you. Some script. So Dave Pimper supplies talking notes. So there's no script to the show, but you have to go on the basis of using some basic talking points. And, Dave is going to talk about Social Security. He'll talk about Roth conversions. He'll talk about, in-service non-hardship withdrawals. He'll talk about current, relatively current financial information without getting too current, because of course you're going to go back and use that radio show maybe 3 or 4 weeks later. You're going to use a half hour of that radio show, so you want to make sure that you're not dating it with the things that you're talking about too much. But it doesn't hurt to talk about some taxation or whatever's going on that's current affairs there as well. Let's see if I missed any questions here. A lot of the same questions that I think we've answered. Oh, I mentioned I did say that I'd take you all through the website. Let me go in there really quick. I'm just going to show you. I have to take the poll down to do that. Thank you all for answering so quickly, by the way. Let's close this poll up. And that was amazing. We had all but one didn't answer on the poll today. I think that's pretty close to a record. Let's see. Okay, so here's the website, www.retirementbossradio. You can see that up across the top, and I sent that to y'all in a quick chat message, and then that takes you to this website. There's a lot of stuff here, but what Dave was mentioning is you can actually listen to a radio show, and that's way down here at the bottom. You see it right towards the bottom of the website. You can listen to like the one that was done on September 3rd, and it shows all these are 26 minutes and 57 seconds. So what happens there, as Dave alluded to, is that you can see he's got all these shows, and his shows are all an hour long. But what Dave does, and what you will do, is you'll record about 4 or 5 1-hour shows in basically 15, a little bit less than 15-minute segments, and then they string them all together for a total of an hour. And then basically they'll take 1/2 hour from, say, 3 months ago or 2 months ago, or your first one that you recorded, and they'll join that with a 1/2 hour of new, and because nobody ever listens to the full hour anyway. And so, and then of course the folks are all ready there to the calls to action are similar, and the folks are ready to take the phone calls. And what you'll find is that you'll get 2 to 3 appointments per week. And Dave's general estimation is that the quality of those appointments is a little bit better than his seminar appointments. If you do seminars, you kind of know those are usually pretty good. You know, if somebody makes an appointment post a seminar, they usually feel like they feel that you're going to be somebody that can help them, and they've got something they want to talk about. So generally speaking, those seminar points are good. Well, it's the same on radio. The reason he thinks they're better is because, as he said, his financial demographic appears to be a little bit better on his radio show leads. And so during the course of a given month, he's doing 4 shows. He's getting an average of 2 to 5 leads. So let's say, if you take in between there, you get three leads or so per show. And so that's 12 new prospects that you're going to get to talk to each month. And if you look at your how your business rolls, and if you think, hey, having 12 new prospects a month to talk to, how does that look in my business? And probably, if you get 1 to 2 to 3 customers, that's probably pretty good. You're probably going to get a pretty good return on that. So most people would seem to be a little bit intimidated at first by radio. What we have found is that guys and gals seem to have the first 2 or 3 recording sessions, or they just get better and better with each one, and then after that it just becomes like old hat, and then you're just used to doing it. Next thing you know, you're hearing yourself regularly on the radio, your clients are hearing you on the radio. They makes you more referable, makes you a little bit of a kind of a local celebrity of sorts, as Dave mentioned. I can attest to that. And all of a sudden you're getting better business from your current clients, you're getting more business from new clients. And if you do seminars or things like that, you can advertise those on your radio show as well. That can grow your seminar. So a lot of good things come from doing radio. I just think the one thing that I would say is don't be intimidated by it. It's definitely doable. I think you'd be happy with the results. So with that, thank you all for answering. I think we had a couple of no's and quite a few yeses of interest, so that's great. If one of the no's has changed their mind, or if maybe the person that didn't vote wants to vote, or call in. We're at 800-255-5055. Be glad to spend some time with you. Get you over to Dave if necessary and see if this might be a good fit. Or, we have a lot of different, we've got preset appointments for no cost that we can get you set up on. We've got low cost preset annuity appointments. We've got, great lead systems that work very well. Maybe radio's not for you, but maybe there's something that catches your eye. So give us a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. We'd love to help you. My name is Steve Murray, but you can ask for myself. You can ask for any of our annuity sales directors. Like I said, we're glad to spend some time with you. Thank you for joining us here this morning. Good, quick, solid half an hour webinar, I think, that gives you some great ideas to help you grow your business, and that's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to do here at IAMS, is help you find new ways to get in front of more people to get your business to the level that you want to get it to do. So again, my name is Steve Murray. Feel free to call me. Call anyone here at IAMS at 800-255-5055, and if need be, we can get you in touch with Dave in a heartbeat as well. Thanks for joining us this morning. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend, and look forward to working with you. Thank you.